shutter speed. Okay, today we're also going to be looking at shutter speed. First off, note that lightly pressing the shutter speed button, or the shutter button right here, will bring up the menu. Okay. Ta-da, menu. This icon right here represents both shutter and aperture. Let me get a pointing device so I can kind of point out things, or a mechanical pencil, whatever works. So this middle section right here is an aperture, and the outside ring is the shutter. Okay? Now, to change the aperture, which we'll need to do, we'll need to open the aperture wide up for this assignment. We need to hold this and rotate. Okay? Now, watch what happens when I do that. Okay? You can see the diameter of this changes, the inner diameter. When I have this wide open, lots of light can get into the camera, and that's what we need because we're going to take pictures in the dark just about for this assignment. So a 3.5 f is very good. Very good. Now, if you have a stock lens that comes with a camera, you'll notice that sometimes you will not get f-stop f or 3.5. And where that occurs is right here on the lens. Let's see if it focuses in like that. Well, it'll say right here 3.5 through 5.6. That's why this lens is so good, because a 3.5 is amazing. Lets a lot of light in the camera. You could take very fast shots with this lens. Okay. So the other ring on the outside is what we're really studying, but we need this one wide open for the experiment to work. Okay. So the other ring, I can just kind of move this, and you'll notice that it's being a little stubborn. There we go. So if I rotate it this way, I get a very high shutter speed. And a very high shutter speed, about 200 is not too bad if you're hand holding a camera. We have a camera on a tripod. We'll need that. Because if you're going to shoot pictures in the dark, we'll need a very low shutter speed. In fact, so low that I can't get to it. This is bulb, it's the lowest, but there is one even lower than this. Okay? You'll need something like this. It's a remote. There we go. A remote. And I have it on tape so students don't lose it. It's on this little thing. This is so easy to lose. I would highly suggest tying a brick to it. Even then, students will lose it. Now, how do we use that thing? Well, if you hit I in the bottom left-hand side, you can pan over to the 5th icon down. It's just below the ISO speed. And then you can hit the center OK. And I need to switch this to remote. Also, there's an annoying feature within here that basically takes this and turns it off every 2 seconds. So let's go to menu. Page over to the pencil. Pencil. Go to timers AEO lock. Oops. Page on to remote on duration and turn it to 15 minutes. That will make it so this is always on, or at least on for 15 minutes. Plenty of time to actually do the assignment. Okay, so what did I just do? Well, now if I page down, so notice I have time instead of bulb. Well, what does time do? Well, now I have this remote and I press it. Shutter's open. shutters close. Ooh. I'm going to turn on live view for a second and let you see what I got here. I have a composition set up with just a bunch of bottles. Just nothing really fancy. And I'm aligning this composition as I'm looking through another camera. So I'll tell you what, this is very awkward for me. I won't lie. So there's my composition. A nice 2/3 composition. It's over on the this side of the street. And you know, it gives me a lot of room to play around. Now you can set up as much junk as you want up on that table. Just know the assignment is about composition and about light. So keep it chaotically organized, I would say. Another thing you're going to need for this assignment is a flashlight. You can borrow mine. I'll probably have a couple in the lab. This is a very nice flashlight for this assignment. Why? Well, it's got both red light and white light. These new LED flashlights are great. I mean, they do cast a lot of direct light. So I will say that, you know, they're perfect to make makeshift flashes out of. So basically, you know, I can shine this right at the bottles, and it's a very dispersed wide beam. That's good. And if I need some red in there, I can do that too. Okay, well, let's do something. There is an automatic shutter or automatic focus on the actual lens. I don't really want to move the camera, but on the front of the lens there's a switch that goes MA or M. You want it on A. Now that I have everything lined up, I really don't want to move it. There's also a little switch called VR on the lens. You want VR off because we're on a tripod. We don't need VR. In fact, VR makes it a little blurry in my opinion. So, you know, it's a feature that is supposed to be awesome. It's not very awesome. So what I'm going to do here is use the automatic focus just to get everything nice and crisp. Don't try to look through the eye and use manual focus for a new student. You don't know what your primary eye is yet. So trust me when I say this, most students do not get their vision checked. So I know on my left-hand side not to use my left-hand side eye because it's got a variance in it. I use my right or left-hand side. Does that make sense? Yeah. Right bad, left good. There we go. So once I get everything in focus by lightly clicking the shutter, then I take it and put it back onto manual mode. That will increase the shutter speed like 1,000-fold because now it's not calculating for the focus. So you can see with the remote I can quickly click, click again, click, click again. Alright, well that's no fun. Okay, let's clear out all. We're going to hit the menu, go up to the play button, go to delete, page down to all, and delete all yes. Alright, in the next video we go through the assignment and the setup process.